All right, now I got my audio on. We should be live. How is everybody doing this evening? Might be morning where you're at, or for me, it is coming evening. As you guys come in, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead, hit that like button wherever you guys are at. Hit the like button, whether it's from X, because I am streaming this on X as well as on YouTube. So this is gonna be roughly about an hour. So something light, nothing major. And if you guys want to post your questions in the comment section, you could go ahead and do that, and I'll be able to get to your questions. Roar, let's go. Bullish E Money, what's going on? Roar CTO, Roar all time highs. And I'm actually loving the way this is actually playing out, especially for Roaring Kitty, guys. It's playing out perfectly because this distance from where it opened at this morning, which was roughly around like 0.2034, and to try to break out, because this is what you call a fake out breakout. It looked like it was gonna have a breakout and continue to keep going higher, but normally the very first test at all-time highs, it is met with some type of resistance. So I was expecting this all along long. So I'm actually glad that we did not break out, because now what I would love to see, just to give you guys a clear picture of what a nice breakout would be. Let's see if I could draw it. I don't know which one is the draw button. Is it here? Which one is the draw button? Text. Well, I guess I'll just try to do it the best that I can with another indicator. Okay, let's do it with the brush. So ideally, hold on. Ideally, this is what I want to see for them. I'm gonna change it to a line chart so that way you guys can see a little bit cleaner as well too. All right. So we have breakout. I mean, really breakouts over here, but we're just gonna use this and just roll with it. So ideally, what you want to see, right? Hold on. I keep stopping. I'm gonna pull this down so you guys could just be able to just really see. Let me change this to red as resistance. All right. Ideally, what you want to see on a breakout. You could have it a couple of different ways, but my ideal breakout, some people call it a coupling handle, which is, for me, that would be top tier for a breakout, because what it end up doing, because once you start, testing all-time highs here, right? Why can't I move this? Like, what's up with this joint today? It won't let me move it. All right, so once it start testing all-time highs, what I would love to see is just consolidation, back and forth consolidation. While it's consolidating, making higher lows though, then eventually surpassing its all-time highs with volume. Now seeing big volume come in, then as big volume come in, it could just continue to keep going, right? Ugh, that looks even worse. I think I done messed up the chart. Take this off. Okay. All right. So ideally, that's what you want to see for a breakout. Then it'll just start going, because what ended up happening right here, and this is just the psychology of everything that's happening. And this is why I say, like, when it comes to charting, there's psychology, human behavior, human patterns that happen, that's been happening over the last 100 years. And this is why technical analysis is a real thing. A lot of people don't believe technical analysis is real, but technical analysis is hundreds of years worth of data happening on the chart. Usually what happens is the people who bought, let's say they bought the top over here, or even bought this dip over here, and they're still holding. Like, once they are in profit, guys, they keep in mind they've been down since roughly around June. So after being down on your position, especially if you have not averaged down, like, it does something to them psychologically. They're like, oh my God, I need to, I wish I never would have bought this thing. Like, if this thing just get back to, at a break even point, I'm ready to get out. And of course, as soon as some got out right here for break even or with a small profit, some start that has started going up, and they're like, wait a minute, maybe I could make some more. Now with this dump that just happened, I think it's gonna scare some more people. Now, if it does scare some more people, that's even gonna be even better, because now what we want to do, we want to see some of the early people. I mean, again, a lot of the early people who got into Roaring Kitty, majority of them have sold or holding small bags, which is really not going to affect us long term. But like for the ones, because keep in mind, we wouldn't have seen this big whale that we have, because there's this whale that have like 50, used to have 50, this top whale right here used to have 50 million roar. Had we continued to keep going up, they probably would never have sold a lot of their token. They sold a majority of their token during this last dip right here. This is why we love to see sales. Like, I get, seeing the green candles, all of that, it is exciting. I'm not gonna lie, it is very, very exciting. But in order for a chart, to continue to have more room to go up, we're gonna need to see some sales. We want to see some people get out of their position. Like, for the people who know what's coming, of course you guys are gonna go ahead and diamond hand, you're gonna hold on strong. But for the people who really don't know, we kind of want them to sell, because at some point or another, they're gonna have regret, they're gonna have FOMO, they're gonna push it up even higher. And when that happens, it's just gonna continue to create a whole nother cycle of the same pattern over and over. But it's definitely exciting just to see that we were able to surpass all-time high, because a lot of people thought this right here was it. They're like, up, it's over, Roaring Kitty's gonna die, nothing is really gonna happen, blah blah blah. you know but it's the overall pattern, and it's not even a coincidence too, guys. When you take a look at NEIRO, like not NEIRO but Turbo, like, we're structured again similarly to Turbo. And it's not a coincidence that on the same day that we both hit all-time highs. Now, given with this boost up, I'm not sure if you guys know what happened with this boost up right here. On Binance, they got the listing on Binance. Binance ran out of Turbo token, so they had to go in the open market to be able to buy more Turbo. And boom, and this is what's causing this big buy pressure right here. Then once people start seeing more buy pressure, they start to FOMO in as well. I want to say they bought in, I think, like 50 million more Turbo. And the same thing with NEIRO. They're constantly buying more NEIRO, and people are calling them the Binance the cabal. But the thing is, anytime you get free listing and the demand for the token outweighs, the amount of supply that they have to come to the open market to be able to purchase it. That's why Binance hold a big chunk of NEIRO, right? That's why Binance hold a big chunk of Sheeb, because at some point or another, because all the supply for Sheeb is out in the open market, all the supply of NEIRO and Turbo, it's all out in the open market. So when it comes to us, and this is why, like, if we're able to get some free listings, it's gonna be like the ideal situation for us, because now at that point we don't have to worry about the market making. We don't have to worry about us running out of tokens, because if they run out of tokens, guess where they're gonna have to come to the open market to be able to purchase it. And I get like I see people like, hey, when are we gonna get the next listing? When are we gonna get the next listing? I mean, we could legit get another listing tomorrow. We just need the funds to be able to do it. Not only do it, but we also gonna need to be able to maintain the monthly bill that's gonna be associated with the market making. But yeah, like Old Horse said, consolidation, guys. I love consolidation. Like, that's, anytime you see consolidation on any chart, those are the easiest time to be able to get in, because because think about it, like, you want to get into the water when the water is calm, not when the water is just like waves just going on top of your head. If you're a surfer, you might like it, but if you're just an everyday average Joe that's just looking to, swim, like, you rather swim in calm waters. So once we start seeing consolidation, um, for Roaring Kitty, then have, a big pop. Now that's just one scenario. Now the second scenario, what we could see, I mean, and I'm gonna get to you guys' questions in just a bit. I think I messed it up again. All right, here we go. Let me delete some of this stuff. Delete. Delete. All right, here we go. So the next common breakout would be, we surpass all-time highs, right? All-time highs right here. We surpass it. Boom. Then we have the pullback to retest all-time highs. We hold this, and boom, back off to the racing we go. That's another common one, especially in crypto, because today we seen how much in volume? Only $44,000 worth of volume. So in the grand scheme of things, if we see like $1 million worth of volume coming in on this breakout, then it more likely would just keep going, because the volume that we're seeing versus, what's being demonstrated right here on the chart is peanuts in comparison to. So let's get it back to the candlestick here. All right, let me take a look at some of you guys' questions. All right. Yes, RJ, I am live on X. At least I think I am. It says that I am live on X. Is it not showing up on X? How is Binance coming along? We still need somebody to be able to submit it for Binance. Everyone within the community that tried, they're in a restricted area or restricted country. So if you're outside the US in a different country, Definitely try to submit it in for us. Sup, brother? You guys talk about Bone yet? Nah, not yet. Let's take a look at Bone. Bone. Let's take a look at Bone. Bone is currently up 3%, 4% on the day. Um, and usually, like when Sheeb is having a nice little rally, Bone is starting to pop off as well too. So looking at Bone just from the trend line in itself. So this is the trend line for Bone. What we want to see, what we would love to see for Bone. So I don't know what this thing. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. So yeah, look at it. Bone just been on a straight downward trend. So it has not broken any trend line as of yet, which is this right here. So for Bone today, roughly around like 99, 98 cents. So if Bone could break 98 cents to the upside, then more likely we're going to be testing this resistance area, which is roughly around like $3.34. I mean, we do have like different pockets of other resistance, like over here in the 150s, 180s, really around like in the 2 area, because it is a whole number. So you could see some little sell offs right there. But then once it surpassed that, then we're looking at, you know, resistance around like the 334. And if we could pass the 334, this is when things really starts getting very interesting for Bone, especially going on the upside. Um, like I mentioned to everybody, like when it comes to utility tokens, uh, it's a different ball game versus meme tokens. Meme tokens, you really just need a community. You really just need the community in itself to be active versus a utility token. I mean, some of the utilities is unfortunately, you know, for these tokens, they need it in order for them to be able to keep the project flowing. Because if the project is not producing revenue, then the revenue has to come from somewhere. And since Bone has been the reward token, this is what paid, you know, the devs. This is what paid the moderators. This is what paid a majority of the staff that's keeping, you know, Shiba Inu, Shibarium, and all the development going alive. So unfortunately, it has to get it has to be sold down, and that's what exactly what's been happening. But we have Treat coming out. So once Treat come out, then the focus or the reward side is gonna go to Treat. So it's gonna be less of a burden on Bone, and now it's gonna be even more. I wouldn't even say a burden on Treat, but it's gonna be what they're gonna use as far as for more development. Plus, you got VCs involved as well too. The VCs, they're gonna try to look for a profit to be able to make a profit. But the great thing about the VCs is they're gonna be able to have connections to these big exchanges where you're gonna be able to see Treat pop off on some of these big exchanges real fast, real quick. And hopefully that still ushers in the door for Bone as well, which I think it is. So it's gonna be very interesting to be able to see. Now I did see that they canceled or delayed the event. Let me see. The X account has announced it. So it's supposed to be like November 9th. So they're looking, I think, for a different venue or something like that. It says our ShibaCon plan for November 9th in Bangkok is being postponed as we want to secure an even more exciting experience for you. So yeah, so hopefully, you know, they're able to announce it sooner, because I know some people wanted to, you know, be able to go there. And it would suck if they already, bought the tickets and stuff like that, but it is what it is. We need to raid CEX posts and influencers posts to on X to give more visibility. Now, 100%. One thing that I know that's been working is when these influencers they go live, we've been rating them, and they've been taking a look at Roy and Kitty, and they've been saying all positive stuff about us. So we went like 3 for 3, or really 4 for 4, if you include Zach. It was fun watching it climb to 0.0045 though. Yeah, no, it's definitely fun like looking at the charts and you're seeing, you know. And the thing is like this does not happen like most people look at it, they think it just happened like overnight. Like no, this was in the makings, for the last couple of months. And one thing about charts or is it's gonna have its ups, it's gonna have its down, it's gonna have its consolidation period. But once it breaks out of consolidation, then this is when you're gonna start to see the violent move up. But yeah, it's definitely exciting. But the best thing about it too, guys, is everything is in circulation. Like all the tokens are in circulation, meaning 1 billion, and out of the billion, I think it was like 33 million now is available. 34? No, that's not it. Let's see. 32. So currently, right now, 32 million roar is available in the open market out of the 1 billion. Everything else is held by holders. So with the holders, like this goes up or down based upon the holders, like nobody else. And a lot of different tokens, they are artificially like dumped on because everything's not in circulation, or at least everything wasn't created for it to be in circulation, if that makes sense. Let's see, I think I missed some comments here. $100 bone is locked in. Yeah, 100%. Like all of this, like when it comes to bone, I already knew how bone was structured. So even when I did the $100 prediction, I already knew like how the team was getting paid. And yeah, I mean if they're providing a service, because people don't work for free, and this is what people like, oh my god, the devs should not get paid. Like no, I'm I'm never for that, because you know the reason why I'm not for that, because is, for one, you wouldn't work for free, right? You wouldn't do anything. Most people are not going to be working for free. Like whether you work for XYZ company, like you would not work for free. What I am against though is like these developers saying like, hey, we're gonna build something, but nothing comes out of it, but they're getting paid. Like, why are you getting paid to do nothing? You know what I mean? Like if you're really gonna build a product or come out with a product, and that's why like any utility tokens, I don't like from pre-sale. People love the pre-sales for utility tokens. I don't. Like I want to see, is this developer or is this CEO really doing what he said he's gonna do? And that was the main reason why it took me a long time just to invest into K9, because I really wanted to see if Buzz was gonna do what he said he was gonna do. And from day one, he just kept knocking it out the park. So I'm like, okay. So with utility tokens, you got to give it time. And they're really going to spark more after Bitcoin surpasses all-time highs and the overall market is pumping. That's when you tend to see utilities. But when it comes to meme coin, like it's a whole different ball game now, because meme tokens, they're they're mainly being fueled by the community. Like, how many times you guys been into a project before where you thought the developer, you thought they were going to do X, Y, and Z for it just to get let down, but the community in itself, it was rock solid. Everybody was on one accord. Everybody was looking for, the going after the dream of making life-changing games. But somehow or another, the charts kept going down, and you're just wondering, like, why is the chart going down and nothing is happening with the development team? Yeah, that's what's happening. They're dumping on you. But when it comes to meme now, people are starting to really realize, like, you know what? Maybe we do not need a developing team. Maybe we do not need a CEO. If we have a community that's strong enough, that is gonna go out every single day, work for your bag, work for your bag. That's the new mantra now in crypto. Like, you work for your bag. And if this is not proof enough of what working for your bag is, like, all of this, like, throughout all this time right here, people are still working for their bag, working for your bag, working for your bag, getting on X, shilling, 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 because at some point or another, because people only have X amount of tokens that they could sell, you know what I mean? Like, once the selling stops and the shilling continues, you get this reverse. Like, other people start seeing it, like, oh, okay, what's this roaring kitty? Let me go ahead and buy it. Because we weren't getting buys over here too. But as soon as we get buys, guess who's selling? The sellers. Again, we're getting buys over here. We're starting to go up. Same people selling. Oh, we get more buys again, selling. Then once whoever was selling, or the groups or the different individuals, once they finish selling, right? Guess what was left? Open skies. So now, just like how Murad say, it's like during these times right here, the believers and the non-believers, like people who believe that the project is gonna explode versus the people who lost faith in it. And if you lose faith in it, it's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? Like, I'd never knock anybody for, like, oh, I'm leaving Roaring Kitty. Like, you gotta do whatever you gotta do that's work best for you. But at the end of the day, though, like, the way that this thing is structured, it's a easy layup. There's not a lot of stuff in crypto that's easy. Like, you could see it form, and there's been too many proof of it. Because I remember when Roaring Kitty was over here. Let me zoom out so that way you guys can see it. Like, when it was like, I remember when people thought it was gonna die over here. Let's look at the market cap then. Let's look at the MC over here. Yeah, people thought it was gonna die over here. And this big wick that happened right here, at the time, it was one of our biggest whales that was in Roaring Kitty. They sold probably like close to half of their supply, and they sold it under like under $700,000 market cap, right? So this is why I say sales are good, because, like, had they not sold, then I love to see people selling for low, because if they're selling for low, that means it's going to be harder for them to come back in, and if they are going to come back in, they're going to be able to get less tokens. So they sold, boom, but they were still holding, some. Then eventually we just saw this nice run up right here. And from then, this is where they started taking profits. They started taking profits like all throughout here. Then you also had some people who didn't realize Roaring Kitty was a thing. I remember the one person, they're still down on their position. They sold Roar like all in one shot. I'm not sure if you guys remember that. want to say it was maybe right here, was it? Yeah. Like they sold all their roar all in one shot. They just woke up and they just saw that they were up like maybe like $34,000, something like that. They came, sold it all in one shot, boom. And they took that money and they put it into Sheeb. Now they bought Sheeb when it was, I think, around like point three zeros. So they're still down on their position, guys. No, not 3 zeros. Like 0.403 something. I want to say, yeah. That's when they bought it at. And this is exactly that I tend to see. Like when people sell their roar, they take it, they try to put it into another asset just to be able to lose it. That's why trading, like the more and more that you trade in the markets, you're putting the odds of you're actually losing, because the more and more that you, like 90% of traders, they don't say 90% of investors, 90% of traders, they lose money. So if you're one of the ones that's coming in and just like, oh, I'm gonna scalp this, scalp that, like I want you to try to scalp it, because at some point you're gonna end up losing. Like all the profits that you make, you're gonna give some back. That's the nature of the game. We'll look at more questions. Did you discuss Turbo yet? I did, but let's take a look at Turbo again, guys. Turbo, like I mentioned, guys, from day one, like Turbo jumped on my radar after the crypto.com listing. And the first thing I wanted to know is why, because I never heard of a Turbo before. I'm like, up another Pepe, spinoff or something like that. But after I started diving deep into Turbo, seeing like how it was made up, aside from the AI side, the biggest thing that I think a lot of people miss about Turbo is the fact that it is community, guys, community driven, community ran. And all of their tokens, again, everything is in circulation. Like whenever you have a token that's in circulation, all the tokens in circulation, whenever you have, a strong community that's pushing the narrative, it's gonna make it just become compounding. The same way that Shiba Inu exploded, Turbo is following the same path, because eventually, as the community continue to keep shilling, and this is what the type of lessons that every community need to pull from successful projects. As it continued to develop, you started getting influencers. Like one influencer here started talking about Turbo, and you started getting another, and what that ended up doing is compounding their growth even faster, because now with this YouTuber or this influencer who may have like 30-40,000 subscribers, now from that they may be able to get 500 to 1,000 new holders. Now those 1,000 holders start going now on X or going on whatever social media platform that they're at, and now they're talking about Turbo as well. Now the visibility of Turbo becomes more widely spread. And with projects like this, the growth of it tend to happen a lot faster. And plus, the way that it's structured, it's structured similarly to Shiba Inu. Everything's out. In order for you guys to get Turbo, you have to go in the open market just to be able to purchase it. Like there's no free tokens or free handout where a team is holding, X amount of the supply. And if they need something for their Telegram, if they need something for their listing, that they have to, they could just easily give. Like, no, if they want to get listed on exchanges, or before, and I'm talking about before they did, before they got these free listings, if they wanted to get listed on X, Y, and Z exchange, they needed to get the tokens from the open market, which is causing buying pressure. You're getting buying pressure. getting the tokens to be able to get listed on X, Y, and Z exchange. Like that's the ultimate makeup of Turbo, and why in my, when even when it was like around like what, a 3 or 4 hundred million dollar market cap, I'm like, this thing is gonna be worth over billions. I think I said like 20 billion like in one of my video. Um, because it is, again, it's following the same path of Shiba Inu. Because now Turbo has, I mean, if you type in Turbo on the YouTube search, you'll probably see maybe 12 to 20 different YouTubers talking about Turbo. So it's going to constantly just making that, making them compound even faster. And now on days like this, where you're seeing a breakout, it just become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it also just strengthening up the belief of the community. It's like, wow, what we are doing is actually working. Like if we stay strong as a community, if we shield, if we continue to keep going out there, this is the result that we're going to get. And it's going to continue to keep happening. And like I was making, all this time, like I was saying, like, look, if you look at Turbo's pattern, it's a classic stair step pattern, guys. Classic stair step. After this right here, we're going to take a look at from right here. You get this up move, up move followed by profit taking consolidation. Up move followed by, I went a little too fast. Up move followed by sideways consolidation, right? Now notice, and I think this is where we're at on our Turbo part. Notice when it was trying to pass this over here, and it had this huge wick. Yeah, that's the same thing that we're facing right now. This huge wick that it had, followed by more wicks. Then followed to, by it finally having that sideways consolidation like I was talking about. Then boom, off to the races. But again, back to the pattern. Up move followed by sideways consolidation. I gotta find the video when I was talking about Turbo, because when it was over here, I was like, okay, now here's the up move, now here's the sideways consolidation. Now ask in the video, what do you think is going to be the next move for Turbo? And I plainly stated, like, after this consolidation is over, you're going to get another up move. This is how properly structured tokens work. Like the chart of Turbo, it's extremely bullish. And, aside from this right here, like this right here was the hardest part, like this long waist of consolidation. Like after it did this move and it had the sideways consolidation and did this move right here, this is when everybody should, had I seen it, I would have definitely jumped on it. But this is the telltale sign, like, oh my God, this thing is really about to, blow up. So hopefully you guys could see like how, properly structured crypto operates. So that this way, now you could look for other cryptos that may look like Turbo. Now, if you look at Roaring Kitty, guys, like we're not, like I mentioned, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just we're just following it. There it is, because the market cap is smaller, so the move is gonna take is gonna be shorter. So you have the up move, profit taken, up move. You get a little consolidation. Now you get this up move, consolidation. Like it's really that simple. Like people make investing harder than what it should be, especially like people who's trying to teach. All it is just pattern recognition. Like if you could recognize patterns like this, then you will be okay in this bull run. If you've seen it, the up move, sideways consolidation, up move, sideways consolidation, up move. Like if you see a pattern like that, please make sure you guys at me on it so that way I could jump into it. Because more likely, not everything is 100%, but typically, if it did this same move, it's going to do it again. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, see where we at. Are we planning on holding LA token accountable for no replenishment of what was hacked? We should call them out on X if no answer soon. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. So I reached out to them Saturday, and they said that they were gonna make an announcement soon. They didn't give us a specific date of when they're gonna make the announcement, but if it drags on again, guys, let's say to next week, then yes, we're gonna call them out on X. I'm gonna give them the heads up, like, hey, because that's 5.8 million roar has been taken away. You know, 5 million roar, and it caused the dump. Like this dump right here, this is during the hack, but this gave some people some good opportunity to be able to get in. So now, at current price, I want to say to be able to get 5.8 million roar. Let me see. Let me get my calculator out. Could be like 20. Let's say like 21,000 or something like that. Let's take a look. 5.8 million roar. Oops. Current price is at 0.003845. So yeah, so 22. Yeah, so they're gonna have to do $22,000 worth of buys, and if they do $22,000 worth of buys, that's gonna be insane. On the chart, so you're gonna see like a big green candle. So, I mean, higher it gets, the more money they're gonna have to shell out. But yeah, definitely gonna call them out if they do not do anything with that, because that's unacceptable. Taking forever for my buy orders to be filled on by economy. We need more CEX listings. Uh, yeah, we do need. I mean, you could get it on the. You don't necessarily have to buy it on a CEX. You could come on Uniswap, and just to be able to purchase it. I got a tutorial on how to purchase it on the DEX. It's better. You actually get a better price if you buy it on Uniswap versus by economy. Just putting it out there for you. So, um, but yeah, more listings. Like we have, like I said, we had like 19, like over 19 exchanges that want to list us. I even got an offer today. But it's like paying for a listing is going to cause more bills. Now, if the community is going to be able to handle the overhead, the monthly overhead as far as donation, then let's go for it. But if not, then I don't think it's the wisest thing to do. Because currently, right now, our only overhead that we're paying for is market making, which is roughly what, 1,200 a month. Well, now 800 because LA token with the hack there. BTC pumping. Where's BTC at right now? 66 still, or did it go somewhere else? So it's dropping a little bit. 66. Now, once Bitcoin gets above 74, guys, 74 is the number that I'm eyeing. 74. So Bitcoin gets above 74. This is when you're going to really start to see mayhem happening in the market. Hey, is 254,000 Roar coin good? I look at it from this point of view. 254,000 Roar at $1. That's $254,000. The goal that I told everyone was 1 million Roar. And that's one thing I was pushing, especially when it was like at when it was at like 100K market cap, I was telling pretty much everybody who was my subs, like, look, I'm not giving you financial advice, but if I was in your shoes, getting 1 million roar when it was at 100K market cap, that's just $100. You could just tuck that away, even if it goes to zero. You know, that would still be a good risk reward. And even now, I mean, 1 million roar is what, $3,800 now. But yeah, that's definitely the goal. Because once it start getting above $10 million market cap, this is when you're gonna really start to see influencers really start to flock to it. Because Roy and Kitty is known to a lot of different communities, a lot of different influencers, but they're looking at it like, okay, let's just see what's gonna happen. They're doing the wait and see approach. And not to mention, let's say Keith Gill comes back tomorrow. All the different seeds of us, been rating all these last few months. Like, again, the name of Roaring Kitty, especially this one, is known because if Keith Gill start to come out, the first Roaring Kitty that they're gonna think of is us, and that's gonna be able to drive in more and more demand. And this is why I like this token. Like, there's so many different narratives that this has. And a good narrative in crypto will take a coin a long way. And this is why, like, if you look at the other GameStop type of or Wall Street Bet type of cryptos, for a while when GameStop was going down, like, a lot of them was being affected by it because that's their only narrative. It's like, oh, they're tied to GameStop, so if GameStop starts going down, then their token going down. During that same time, we're pumping, you know. I even seen the Solana one. See, the one Kitty, this one is definitely a uphill battle for them because too many people are stuck and rugged. Like, it had a nice pump like today or yesterday, but whenever you see like just this huge overhead pressure, like, this is all people who bought in, guys. Like, they're stuck. So anytime it starts to pump, it's gonna be met by sell-offs. So I don't even know why, like, people are like, if this doesn't get, the only way that this could revive and really, really do something is if their volume, it's all about volume. So if they could get more volume to take away from these, between May and June, then yeah, they'll be a competition to us. But right now they're at a $2.3 million market cap. Like, we are the top roaring kitty. We're the top roaring kitty on any blockchain now. So we're the sector leader as it stands right now. Even if you look at the other one, there was another one that was on Ethereum. This one, it's up 31% on the day. Market cap is at 253. Again, same type of scenario. Like, I don't know what exactly happened to this, but I want to say some insiders must have sold because during this pump right here. And now you have an uphill battle. So this is not as worse as the other one, but uphill battle versus us. Like, we just have a few people that's really left in here. Like, we just have a few people, few stragglers. Because when you look left, this just lets you know wherever resistance is at. So we just have a few more resistance. Once we pass this, it just blue skies up ahead. No, that's the thing. The question is it far fetched to believe Roar could hit 5 billion MC? I believe so because many say this bull run is going to be the one of the biggest. Yeah, and the great thing about I've been saying this since 2022. Like this is going to be the biggest bull run because the reason why it's going to be the biggest bull run. Now I'll get to that question is due to the fact the last bull run we didn't have China in the mix, right? So crypto was banned for them. So with the last bull run, so if you compare the 2020 2021 bull cycle to the 2016 2017 bull cycle, 2016 2017 by far was way better than it, by far. And one thing was that you had the Chinese whales, like the deep pocket, like they were in crypto, and when I mean things were just like pumping extra hard, like it was crazy. Like we saw a nice, nah, don't get me wrong, we did see a nice bull run 2020 2021, but now with China and they're saying that they should be unbanned, like fully unbanned by the end of this year. And if that happens, now you're going to be able to start seeing these meme tokens really explode. Because back then it was ICOs, people were just jumping in ICO left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. And a lot of people made a lot of money, but they end up giving it back during the bear cycle. So don't make that mistake. So if you make money during the bull cycle, best thing you probably do is just get away from crypto during the bear cycle so that way you don't give nothing back. I did that. I gave a lot of my gains back during after during the 2018 going into the next bull run. But to answer your question, 5 billion, like it is doable. Like this crypto will go as far as the community goes. Like nothing is stopping us from reaching, for one thing, us. Like if we all believe that, okay, this is going to be a $5 billion token, and guess what's going to happen? It's going to be a $5 billion token. When are those other YouTubers going to get on board with Roar? I probably think like they'll get on board once they start looking at their profits and seeing how much they're up. Because then it's gonna be like, wait, I'm up this much, so let me just share this with my community. What do you think about this theory? Zach is waiting until ETH pumps before he drops the video on Roar to create more excitement around the project and get more people chasing green candles. Hey, I mean, I guess, I mean, that's the theory. Uh, that's definitely a theory. I mean, it could be, it couldn't be. That part I wouldn't know. They are eating up the dip. Roar is already pumping back. I want to see us overtake GME on Soul. It hit a 30 million market cap. I think it's possible to overtake them soon if we shoot past 10 million. Absolutely, because the momentum that we get passing 10 million, it seemed like $10 million market cap is like a psychological barrier for a lot of crypto projects. Like for some reason people start really believing more when they see a project is at the 10 million dollar market cap. I don't know why, but it's just the trend that I see. Like once it passed $10 million market cap, then boom, you start to see 20, 40, 50, 60, and it just start to shoot up. You're like, holy, what is going on? You know, and this is gonna be the time that some of you guys may start talking a little saucy to your boss. Like, hey, why are you late? Like, shut up, man. I got Roar. I think if we get on Shibarium and Bone starts to pump, we could get free listing easily. So keep doing what we doing now. Man, 100%. Like, that's something that I really want to see, man. Like us getting onto Shibarium, because one thing, and this is even how I presented it to the team, because I did go use the intake form, and I wanted Roar to be like a partner, like, just they could create a title like the official meme or the sponsored meme or something of Shibarium, because if you look at all the different chains that's been exploding, the common denominator, guys, it's there's a meme token on there that's exploding, getting a lot of attention, where someone is putting X amount in and they're turning that X, they're turning their 20, $50 into maybe $10,000 or something like that. That gets a lot of people excited. So they're gonna go gold rush or gold mining on that chain to be able to find something similar. This is how capital, like people, and I think like people like try to oversimplify it. They're like, well, this chain right here does not have this X, Y, and Z. Like, the market doesn't care about all of that. Like, just keep in mind, like, the market is always right. Whatever we feel like I feel like, in my personal feeling, I think that Shibarium probably is the best chain out of all the chain, but the market does not care about my feelings of how I feel. So if we take our feelings out of it, as far as like, you know, and really start adjusting or adapting to what the market is giving us, not saying like just chase every single trend or whatever, because that's going to get exhausting. Um, but some of the common denominators that's been causing different chains just to be able to pop off, I think implementing some of those will make your job a lot easier, because Kendu Inu, that was one perfect example as well too. Let's get on Kendu Inu, because Kendu Inu, when it had its huge parabolic run, because keep in mind this thing came from like a $3 million market cap, right? Let me just verify that real quick. So consolidation point was roughly around like $3 to $4 million. So imagine they were also on Shibarium, you know, because they definitely say they're gonna get on Shibarium. Cause this is it right here. So somewhere between like 10. See, notice the 10 part, and after past 10, it just exploded. Uh, but yeah, so it was trending between 10 and, we'll just say, $2.5 million market cap. So around that time, if they were on Shibarium, or at least had a pull on Shibarium, all the attention that Kendu Inu got, that would have brought so many people onto the chain, guys. It would have, like, this thing went from a $3 million market cap all the way to $275 million market cap, and they had so many different other influencers that were going to be talking about Kendu. And one thing that they could have mentioned as well is that, oh, they're on Shibarium as well too. So eventually people are gonna be like, okay, what is this Shibarium? Let's find out. And that would have helped Shibarium out, but they're not on Shibarium. Like Brett, well, even before Brett, there was this token called Bald Token. I wonder if it's still here. And the reason why it was called Bald Token was due to the fact that the CEO, his name Brian Armstrong or whatever his name is, he's bald, so they created a meme token called Bald Token. Now that at the beginning of Base's inception. This is why Base blew up so fast, because people were slapping, again, 20, $30 into a play, and that thing went I don't think this is it though. They slapped 20, 30, $40 into a play, and they were up 10,000, 13,000, and that brought in a lot of different people onto the Base chain. Now, they were having trouble. They did have a hiccup, which made the Base chain essentially die down at the beginning, and that was like they weren't able to withdraw their tokens, or the ETH. They had a lockup period where people couldn't be able to withdraw, so everybody was just, caused a big flood, caused that token to crash, etc., etc. But then you get a few more other meme coins that start popping off. You get Brett. You get, I think the other one is Toshi. And these start going parabolic, They start ripping faces. And the fact that they did that, and again, it goes back to people making money. If they're making money on your chain, then people are gonna come. Like, it's not, oh, well, we have this, we have that, we have this. Like, people don't care. Like, like, am I gonna make money? If the answer is no, then more likely they're not gonna come to your chain. There it is, Toshi. That was one that exploded. Same thing with Solana. Reason why Solana started blowing off was due to a meme token. And they had many. Solana had like a lot of different meme tokens that's exploding. The first one, I forgot what it was called. What was the first one that popped off? It was before Whiff. But Whiff was one of them that popped off on Solana. But yeah, so the list goes on and on and on as far as like how you see different chains pop off. Ball, I think, is Scottie Pippen. Nah, Scottie Pippen, that's a different one. ESK9 just for vesting. That part I don't know. Like, for me, a lot of stuff with for K9, I just set it and forget it. Like, I haven't really dived deeply into it. Let's see. Turbo is at an all-time high. Turbo is just ripping faces, man. Like, I told you guys, like, from the beginning, like, I love Turbo. And the reason why I love Turbo is it reminds me of Shiba Inu, how the community is structured. Roaring Kitty reminds me of Turbo and Shiba Inu. And Wind Treat soon. Over 300 bones so far from K9. Donating all of what I got in 6 months to the mirror. Oh, appreciate that. Boink. That is, yeah. I couldn't think of that token for the life of me. Like, yeah. Yeah, Boink went crazy. And again, it's the same type of story. Like, same thing happened over and over. Like, the unique part about crypto is anybody could be successful in crypto. You just got to be able to go back and study what works. Like, what work? Like, if I'm a builder, like, what work? I'm not saying copying everything, bar for bar, but implementing what worked. Like, don't try to. I wouldn't say don't try to reinvent the wheel, but because that could stunt innovation. But at the same time, it's like you got to be able to produce. You know, crypto is too fast paced, and things are just getting a lot faster. And this is why utility tokens, if they're not delivering faster, and I'm not saying skip out on security or anything like that, but if they're not delivering faster, people are gonna just move on to what is the next hottest thing. Because again, this reminds me of the OTC days where tokens were just stocks were just popping up out of nowhere, and a lot of people were just capitalizing onto it until guess who came? Like when people started making money, like crazy money, guess who came? The government, and they started implementing regulations in the stock market. They implemented the pattern day trader rule, where you have to, in order for you to be able to make multiple trades in a day, if you live in the U.S., you have to have at least $25,000. Like that was a, they're claiming that they're protecting the investor, but really they just saw people just started making money like a little too fast, too quick. Like wait a minute, and I think eventually that's what's gonna, not specifically like that, but they're gonna try to do some type of stuff to be able to limit. And this is why I say like you gotta capitalize on this bull run, not thinking that hey we're gonna be able to have a similar one, coming in. When you guys do the AMA with 1 cent. See, didn't do the 1 cent. He was having technical difficulty, and one other thing too that I noticed, like right before the AMA, there was like this big whale that just started dumping out of nowhere. I was like, whoa, were they trying to use the AMA as like exit liquidity? So that was a little. I was like, wait a minute. But that one thing like I don't want to do is expose my audiences to, I'm not saying that's everybody in the 1 cent community, but I just thought it was kind of odd, like during the AMA. I mean, like when right before the AMA started, I just started seeing like just a huge whale just started dumping. That's why I went in hard on bone. Now keep in mind, guys, I don't know if you guys caught my video where I was when many people thought October was over, after the first day, and how I pointed to you guys, just based on historical dates, that October typically started towards the middle and the end of the month. Like this is just the start. Like we got a head start ahead of a lot of different projects with our pump right here. So the October, it really hasn't even started. So we're in a great position, not to only just like have a nice breakout, but to have that, that here's Roy and Kitty. We have arrived, you know. What do you think of C Fund? It's been a minute since I looked at any Shibarium projects, to be honest with you. Um, I haven't seen C Fund in a while as far as them popping up on my timeline. This is a Solana version. So I wouldn't know what's happening. See how they're looking on, because at one point I saw them, they were pumping, and this was like right around the time of not Shibarium, but of Roaring Kitty. Yeah, it was right here. Same thing, like, you got the up move, down move, consolidation. Part of this, the reason why this is like this is due to the fact that bone is down, and this is what it's paired with. So I wouldn't 229,000 market cap. Yeah, getting into a position in this, because look, it's right at a support area. Now, as long as the team is not, selling and doing anything like that, then this should technically, it should still hold. Put the green, because that's where you want looking to buy. Yeah, as long as the team is not selling their token or actively dumping, it's right at a support area. You got a couple of tests right here, got another test right here, got another test right here, another test right here. So establishing a position at these levels is the type of entries that you're looking for. Because now, let's say Bone starts to pump, it's connected, C Fund is connected to Bone. It's gonna have a nice pump as well too. So this is safe areas. You got this sell off. Now you're getting sideways consolidation. This is the time where you want to enter into the water. The water's calm. Do you think Bone will do well this bull run? You are the main Bone content creator I follow. Yeah, nothing, like, guys, nothing has changed for me as far as like with Bone. I still think Bone, being the gas token of Shibarium, is gonna do extremely well. Um, yeah, nothing has changed. Like, my game plan, I set this game plan out over 2 years ago. Nothing is changing with the game plan um, until after during Q1. Like, then I'm gonna reevaluate my position just to see, like, okay, I gave Bone enough time, I gave the team enough time to be able to do what they need to do. Now we're, at that point would be close to about what, like 8 months after the halving. Like, something's gotta shake. But right now, I'm just riding the wave. Odds of on Binance listing if Roar gets to a $10 million market cap. Then it lists NEIRO at a $14 million market cap. It did. Um, I mean, we put in for the application, so we put in for the application. And if Binance is smart, which I believe they are, they're gonna look at projects that are registered as CTOs, and they're gonna take some time to evaluate them. They're gonna see the result of what happened to NEIRO CTO for listing such a small, because this right here is proof of concept. This is the proof that a CTO could not only get listed on Binance, but also make Binance and their holders, and their customers, a lot of money. So the fact that they're able to do that, they're gonna look for more CTOs. Not only that, let's look at Baby Doge and see what Baby Doge is doing, right? Because Baby Doge was the another one that was listed with the whole Binance too. Because I don't know if Baby Doge is a CTO. I don't know if anybody could confirm that, like whether or not if they're community. But I want to say like all their tokens is also in circulation as well too. but looks like all-time high is what over here at 0.80503. So it's approaching. Oh no, never mind. All-time highs is point 0.6 no 0.8061. So it's still not that far away from its all-time highs. But if you look at the success though that Binance got with Turbo, which is, their CTO, community owned, and you also have NEIRO CTO. Like it, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if they do not list another CTO in this next few months. I'll be shocked because at this point it's like, oh, you don't want to do what Well, this is the wrong one. This is the one that they're calling the cabal. But let's even look at the one that they call the cabal. It did. This was the resistance area. It did break past it, so that's a good sign for them. Look, this thing is about to cross over to the billion. Because versus with the other tokens that they typically list, which higher market cap, what end up happening as soon as they list these higher market cap token, their Binance essentially is being used as exit liquidity as well as their holders. Right here, ain't no exit liquidity, and even if they did, people start dumping right here, they're just gonna buy it all up, then just add it to their platform. Now they're gonna be able to make money. So I think we have a high odds of getting listed on Binance. But guys, I've been going on for over an hour. We're looking at an hour and 30 minutes. Huge congratulations to the Roaring Kitty community, guys, because again, this did not just happen overnight. Us seeing this, all these different months where the token price was going down, we're still here, still shilling. So just got to continue to keep doing what got us here and what's going to take us even further. But Random Arts guys signing off. Hopefully you guys enjoy this live. Look to catch you guys on the next one. Random Arts signing off. Peace.